episode on Lively High Church. Today, before we go into the details of our discussion, we're going to be sharing with you a story, a very short and simple story.
Audio Jungle.
She had a very disturbed childhood. She was physically, verbally, emotionally abused. But at a point in time when she was able to leave the house, to like 17, 18 thereabouts, she packed up her things and left. When she was leaving, she was like, bygones be bygones, I'm done with this past and everything. She moved to a new community, started life on her own. But as she got there, she discovered that she had baggages. You feel like there are things that you left behind, and she still saw that these things are still coming, still going to play in her life. She met someone, a friend, a female friend, that tried to get close to her, a good person, but she was always very defensive against this person. She never let the person in totally. It was like, okay, her friend will come to her and say, hey, you look beautiful. I like the fact that you can do this. I like the fact that you can do something like this. She was a very good writer. She could write, she could paint, she could draw. She was very gifted artistically. So, but she never saw those things as special gifts. But her friend was like, wow, you mean you can do all these things? Like, seriously, you have gold and you don't know it. But she never saw those things as anything much. She just saw it as things just to pacify herself, things just to get by, things just to make life worth living. But as she went on, she grew closer to this friend of ours, and she began to change. She began to realize that there are things she has to let go of. And her friend used to tell her, you're beautiful, you are gifted, you're talented. Her friend was an encourager. She would tell her nice things, say beautiful things to her. And as time went on, she realized that it wasn't like she got over her past. In her mind, she was like she wanted to bury all those things and never remember them again. But she came to, as she grew closer in friendship with this female friend of hers, she came to a realization that she doesn't necessarily have to forget those things. She just has to let go of them. She has to see herself in a better light. And after that, she changed. It was like there was this different glow about her. Yes, total transformation. She began to see herself as beautiful. She began to dress more beautifully. And over time, she became a really amazing person. And eventually, she decided to share her gifts with the world. Before, she would just paint and draw for herself, write for herself. But over time, she started selling her paintings. She started drawing for people. She started writing books, and she did really well. So that's our short story.
She's making impact.
She's making impact. So from that story, we can see that this young lady came from a place of nothing to finding herself. A place of not knowing herself to finding who she really is. So that whole process, what was it she really went through? What was it she suffered from? We're trying to look at, they say that if you don't know the cause of a particular thing, you can't find a solution to it. So we're trying to provide a solution for this young lady, then for people like her that are out there that don't know what life means and trying to forget their past, they don't want to have anything to do with it because they feel, okay, I just want to launch into the future, but you really can't launch into the future if you don't deal with
your past,
the baggage behind. So that short story brings us to today's topic. Self-esteem. Self-esteem. What really is self-esteem? So Yinka, please help us shed light on what self-esteem is.
Okay. Your self-esteem is this subjective evaluation you have of yourself. Like the total opinion you have about yourself, like okay, I'm strong, I can do this, I can do all things through Christ that strengthens me.
Your
It's just
belief about yourself.
you believe about yourself. It encompasses your strength, your weaknesses, your
Experiences,
your
and all those
abilities.
things.
So that's what self-esteem is. So, like, do you have a contrary?
Okay. No, I don't have a contrary point
No,
of view.
something
to
just
it.
buttress.
Yes.
Okay.
Self-esteem is your self-image. How do you see yourself?
How you see
When you
yourself.
say self-esteem, you are looking at, okay, I am seeing myself in a particular light. I know these are the things I can do, the things I am capable of. Like, you're looking at your capabilities and your abilities. That's basically what self-esteem is, and then putting off that, that vibe, that sort of thing. It's just like when you meet somebody, you say like, that person has a positive vibe. So it's like the self-esteem of that person is what gives off that positive or negative vibe.
Yeah, so before we dive further, I would say no person is one-dimensional.
Yeah, totally.
Even God is.
Yes.
Yeah, so we have this. You have your own point of view, God's point of view, and others.
Yes, point of view of other people.
The other people. So God's point of view, I believe should be the ultimate. Is the ultimate.
It's the ultimate.
It's the ultimate point of view. So others' point of view about you does not really matter because it is their own.
Little, like very little.
It's their own point of view, and your own point of view about yourself should be based on what
God thinks about you.
Because okay, God is our source, and the source determines the strength
Yes.
of that material. So we all are from God. So what God thinks about us is what should be our self-esteem.
Yes.
So
That is very, just like what Yinka mentioned about God being our source. When God is our source, we see ourselves through His eyes. We find ourselves in Him, and without outside God, it's like we are lost.
Yeah.
We're totally just trying to find out. That's when you can say somebody doesn't really have a positive self-esteem about his or herself. That's very basic. Then, what are the things that really cause a positive or negative self-esteem? What are the things that we can point out? Like I said, if we don't know the causes, we can't necessarily prefer solutions.
Yeah, so talking about low self-esteem first. To me, you're building a very strong self-esteem. It depends on the way we were brought up, from childhood.
Yes.
It depends on the way our minds were conditioned to function. Yeah, probably when I was a child, my mommy would always tell me, "There's nothing you can do. You are just so useless.
Good for
really, I will be useless." Because even if the way God made me, that's my mom's point of view.
That's not God's point.
That's not God's point of view.
Yeah.
So like having this strong, like a very healthy point of view
About yourself.
Yeah, like it depends on when we're small. Okay. Some parents, like I've seen mothers, fathers, they'll tell their children, "You're beautiful, I love you," just like they'll say stuff, and
Perfect.
like, even if a stranger should come, I'll be like, you're a monkey. I think I had to tell you, was it Miles Munro?
Yeah, Miles Munro.
The teacher.
Yes.
I told him that you're a monkey, and the mother said, I did not give birth to a monkey. You are not a monkey. So like the mother was able to just be positioned the child's mind into what
the right thing.
So I think as parents, like intending parents, you should really know what God's mind towards your child is.
Yes, it's like God has given you clay, and you have to mold.
Exactly. So causes of low self-esteem, unhappy childhood, whereby probably your parent or significant people like your teachers are extremely critical. Okay, you as a teacher, why are you so dumb? Really? You don't say to a child like that he or she is dumb. No.
Like no child is dumb.
No child is dumb. Yeah, so I believe one of the causes of low self-esteem is when we have unhappy childhood. We never gotten somebody that could tell that told us that we could do these things right.
So yes, majorly negative childhood. Just like the story we said that this young lady had been physically abused, emotionally abused, and all those verbally abused. It's just like saying negatives to somebody, you are good for nothing, you cannot put forth any positive fruit, you are not beautiful, you are ugly, that is absolutely wrong, and that is trash. You really can't do that to somebody. That is one of the major, because whatever happens to you, whatever you hear during your formative years, you notice that there are some memories you can't forget from childhood. And even when you grow up and you begin to do things, you begin to make advances, try to make waves in your life, you are still like struggling that you can't do it. See that they said you are good for nothing. You can't amount to
They said I can't do it.
Yeah, they said I can't do it. You have to fight through those things because those are the things that you went through during your formative years. And another major cause of low self-esteem is the physical limitations. Things you can and cannot do. It's just like, for example, you have the ability, somebody has the ability to run probably a 200-meter race, or run like 100-meter race, or run a marathon. And here are you can't even run from here to there, you're already gasping for breath. And you build your self-esteem based on that, oh, this person can do this, and I can't do that. So you are striving. It's just like I was reading and somebody was like, you are a 3 at something, and somebody else is at a 10 at something. So you are not trying to become a 5 at something that is not even relevant. So instead of finding that thing that you are probably a 10 at also and doing that thing. So our physical abilities, our physical limitations also have a way of influencing our image about ourselves. Whatever it is you can't do, you should know that there's something else you can do better.
Okay, like I want to say something. It is not everything you can do.
Yes.
Focus on your strength, and just your strength might be someone else's weakness, and somebody else's weakness might be I might be good at writing, and she's not. So for her to not think, oh, because I'm not good at writing,
I'm not good at anything.
God is so diverse and so vast. Like
yes,
a lot of gift and potentials you can really just it's in you, just push it out. So physical abilities can cause low self-esteem.
Things you can and cannot do. Then another thing that could affect our self-esteem is our thoughts. Those go a long way. I mean, like, they go a really long way. The way you think about yourself. Imagine thinking that I am useless. And the thing is that our thoughts have a way. You could just be one day, it just pops in your head that probably because just like from these physical abilities things, you try to do something and then you cannot do it. And then from that you're like, I'm good for nothing. How will I be a whole me not be able to do this thing? And then you begin to nurture that thought of I'm useless. And thoughts, I feel like they grow very fast. They grow even faster than some plants. It's like it just begins to spread and spread. And your whole life, build your whole life around that, thought that I am useless. So you have to be intentional about the things you think. It's just like the Bible says, guard your heart with all diligence, for out of it are the issues of life. Guard your thoughts. Guard the things you think about yourself. No matter what anybody says, if somebody says, you are useless, you are good for nothing, you amount to nothing, you have the final, God has the final say, but then you have to put out those thoughts of things that God has for you. God believes that you are beautiful. He believes that you are the righteousness of Christ Jesus. Yes, you are fearfully and wonderful.
What else do you
absolutely have to believe that.
Yeah, so I want to buttress there's this we said physical abilities. Some people, you might think that the stuffs you know how to do are minute, like they are not significant. You might count them like as insignificant. Or I might really know how to sweep, and Princess knows how to write. I'm like, why is it like it's only the ground? Really? And you just be listening to thoughts now. You be like, I can just sweep, and she can write. Like, no, it's that is your area of your strength. That's your strength. So don't because a princess can write and I can sweep.
You now start striving to
write. So you start writing rubbish. No, focus on your strength and just ignore your weakness.
Yeah. So develop your strength. And
So I think we should go to science of how do we know like that this person is suffering from low self-esteem?
Then how do we know that this person has a very positive self-esteem?
Yeah, my first point that I like, okay, people that suffer from low self-esteem, like they are always extra sensitive to criticism.
Yes, so like if you say, why did you do this? They're like, no, I didn't know. Like they're always very defensive people.
And I think it's because like they've already criticized themselves. Like
yeah, so it's just like pouring water inside hot oil. It just gives you back.
Exactly. I do not feel like look at what I'm doing, look at what I'm like. So what did you just like this? Oh, boom! You just finished that person.
Just kill them on the spot.
Yeah, because like someone suffering from low self-esteem already would have really self-criticism. Like I think that should be the first one. You would have criticized yourself like I can't do anything. Like you said, I can't do anything. There's nothing I can do, and then somebody just comes in and like, why did you like ordinary simple thing like this you cannot do? Kiniko. So I think so. That's
a major one.
That's one of the
They're always very
extra sensitive to criticism.
And another one is that just the way they are always very quick, to fight off, criticisms and everything, and they're always very defensive. The same way, they don't know how to accept compliments.
Oh.
Just like the story.
Yeah, just like the story.
Somebody telling you are beautiful.
You're like, no.
Like, where do you see beauty in all
That's
of
a
this?
lie. That's a lie.
Where do you see beauty in all of this? Like, there's no beauty in all of this.
Okay, I can remember a story. Like when we resumed back at school, my mom was like, Inka, you are beautiful. I said, Mama, no. So she was like,
I guess, right?
You were like, okay, you're not beautiful. You want to believe in that? So I was like, no, I'm beautiful. So yeah, like she said, people suffering from low self-esteem cannot just accept a compliment about like, oh, I love your dress. Be like, oh,
Thank you. Like, accept compliments.
Accept compliment for kind of laugh.
Try. Compliment.
Try.
And somebody says you look good, like thank you. You look beautiful. Thank you. Yeah, that's basically it. Then another thing is that they don't know how to say no. I think that saying no is about also setting healthy boundaries.
Okay.
Setting healthy boundaries.
Yeah.
About what you want and what you don't want. People that have low self-esteem are always scared that if I say what I want, and they might feel like maybe something's okay. I'll just go with the flow.
I think there's
whatever it is.
there's place in the Bible, Proverbs 26 and 7 about like a man. You can let me check it out. Oh, sorry, 25, 28.
Okay, Proverbs 25, 28. Proverbs 25, 28. A person without self-control is like a city with broken down walls. Like says it all.
Yeah,
Like
you do not set boundaries. It's whatever if they bring it, you have collected it.
take it as it is.
So
And that's not healthy.
yeah, it's not healthy. Another side of low self-esteem is that they focus more on their weakness than their strength. They believe other people are better than them.
Yes.
And you might not rule the world, but you can
Rule your
rule your
world.
world. Yeah, so like you rule
You
your
might not rule the
yeah,
world, but you can rule your world.
So they tend to because she's good at something I'm not good at it. I want to convert.
Be striving
Yeah,
to talk to the next person.
I can't be princess. Princess can't be me.
Yeah, I can't be
I can only be myself. Yeah, so
Yes, people of low self-esteem really don't see the light in themselves. They believe that every other person is better than themselves. So the next thing is we're looking at the signs of people with positive, high self-esteem. So what are the points? I think the first one, which I like, is that they are very confident people.
okay.
They are kind of people, just like I said, you just meet some people and you're like, this person has a positive
Yeah.
vibe. They are people with a positive vibe any day, anytime.
Anytime.
They are people with positive vibe. They are always very confident. They have this aura about them that if you feel bad or feel negative that they can't do a particular thing, they just overlook it and like, okay, there are things I can do, there are things that I cannot do, and they accept it very well. So that is very basic.
So there has to be a balance. No, for people of the high self-esteem, don't be too overconfident.
Yes.
Like I can do this, I can do like the Bible said in Romans 12.
12 verse 3. It says, because of the privilege and authority God has given me, I give each of you this morning. Don't think you are better than you really are. Be honest in your evaluation of yourselves, measuring yourselves by the faith God has given us. Like, don't place yourself higher than you are. Shoulder up, shoulder pad. I am this.
Don't be a Lucifer.
Don't be a Lucifer.
So place yourself the way God has placed you.
Mhm.
Because our point of view is in relativity to God's point of view.
Yes.
So don't place yourself. Don't place yourself above God.
No, that's it. You are nothing. You are absolutely nothing. Remember that you are nothing without God. Paul said in the Bible that I am all that I am by the grace of God. So we should always bring that into consciousness of everything that we do. Find the devil will try to nudge you.
Just like you can
just
do this.
tamper.
Did you just do it?
Like hey, oh you, but then a small you with a big God.
Yeah, small girl with big God.
Small girl with a big God. So that's basically it. We have mentioned what self-esteem is. We have mentioned causes of a low self-esteem. We have mentioned signs of positive self-esteem and of a low self-esteem. So the next thing we are going to be looking at is how to build a positive self-esteem. Like, how do you thrive? How do you do well? How do you enter a room and like everybody's like, I like that vibe, I like that vibe, I like that vibe. So how do you develop that positive vibe? If you want to know that, stay with us. We'll be back here next week. Thanks for staying. Like, subscribe, and please
comment,
share, comment. Thank you. Bye.